Hello, welcome. This is a YouTube series where I will talk about the human awakening and how we can be more closer in contact with our soul. And already this, or like for me, very often this is my subject. And this morning we had a morning meditation at Shara Ashram. We have that almost every morning, and this is the place also where I work and where I live. It's outside Varberg, and at the meditation today it was again coming very strongly to me that we as humans, we tend to living only from the human system, and that is actually what I perceive as the illusion. It's not the truth. So if we only live through our sensory system, we are maybe not in contact with the reality. And I would say the soul is diminished from the human life, if we say. And this is a subject, the illusion as such, I will have a longer talk about later. But for today I actually wanted to come back to what I talked about in the last YouTube video, the uniqueness of the human, to be unique and to dare to be that. And I then mentioned that there is often things that needs to be healed, and so that will be the subject for this video. Okay, so if we look at the human system, we can say that what's built up here, it's not my own system. It's built on the environment I was growing up in, mainly. And that environment was built up from an earlier environment. So we can say that we are a result from our history as humans. And if we are only attached to the human sensors, we are living the history and maybe have difficulties to allow our uniqueness to come through and to be expressing our true self. If you say the little baby, it's blank coming to earth. So what's the content that we fill our system with? The content is mainly then from our parents and the family, closest family. And then we have a piece that is this soul. And I would say in general it's the biggest part of us. If we are more in contact with the soul, the growing up will not be so strong attached to us. We can come through more as a soul living a human life. And that's the awakening. Makes me think about, again, to share around what is the soul. And so one subject at a time. And I think all of us, we have different experiences of that, and we can share about it in different ways. but the awareness, the consciousness that is always here with us. Again, the one observing myself, observing me sitting here. Observing me thinking. And if we take that one more step, who is observing? The observer. The huge consciousness that we are all part of. Okay, it's not so easy to stay here being in the human system. Okay, so now we have this growing up environment and things that happen to us. And when we are grown up, we are normally very easily connected with that, things that happened, mainly as we were small children. Up to 7 years, you can say that we grasp everything like a swamp in English. What is that? I cannot find the word in English now. But the thing that you use to seek up water. Our system is like that. We grasp everything. And if things was difficult at that time, we have a system that is sometimes traumatized, and we have the conditioning from our life, earlier life, time on as children. I would say as grown up, as soon as we react, we are mostly in contact with the child within. And I normally say like that who has been the longest with you as a human? That is the one that is 1 years old. So if you are 50 now, it has been with you 50 years. And 2 years, and 3 years, and 4, and 5, and 7, the first 7. They have been with you so long time, and they are easily reacting if the environment that we are now in as grown up resembles the one that you had when you were small. So if you or me or anyone, when we react, if we react more than the situation requires, you can say that you are in contact with a trauma or something difficult that happened earlier. And you know that our parents is maybe the ones that can be the most difficult to be with sometimes, even if they are so lovable also. But that is because of our system might resemble them the most, because we got it from them. And if we don't like something, we want to develop something, then it's rather easily connected with our parents. And they can trigger that wants to change and take a step. So we can learn the most in the environment that we grow up from, or others that is kind of playing out same story. But to heal is not always easy, you know that. And even if we know this has happened to us, we might not be able to heal so easily. And often for me, I feel to be kind to oneself is one important step. Because nothing is our own problem. So we always have, if we can see, it's always the system behind, and no one is really responsible personally, if you say, but we work on it personally. We always have to take responsibility, but we are not responsible for difficulties. We are responsible together. This system we are in, the human system, is one big system. And we'll talk about that, of course, again. I have to keep myself on one subject. So if we come back to heal, to have time when reacting, to stop yourself, to give yourself space, to be kind. Okay, now I'm in contact with something difficult that happened to me, that I have difficulties to handle. That's the first step. And from there, to accept, okay, this is what I feel, I'm okay, I accept it. And from there, track, where did it started? I work with clients a lot from this in this way. We look for the system behind, and we look for the starting point, because there, if you come to the starting point, you can be with that, and be with that little boy or girl that had that experience, and to this depends on what it has been about, but in general, to separate that now we are adult, it's not happening now, to reassure the human system that everything is fine now at this point, and from there be able to have a meeting from the experience. Sometimes we set up a play where you meet your mother or your father and you can express yourself, and it can be so a huge healing from that work. But in general, to catch up yourself, and maybe even if you do your own work, to just sit with yourself and your inner child and hold yourself, to hold that was what has happened, and never diminish something, because some things that has been a small thing can be huge for a certain person, and for others it would not even be noticed. We cannot compare, because we have this uniqueness, and our system is different, sensitive to different things. I talked about this in the uniqueness of the soul. We need different things, different kinds of support. Okay, so this was just to bring back our knowledge that when we react more than the situation requires, it's something that wants to be healed in the system. And it's not personal, because we got it from the environment. And with this, to connect stronger with the soul again. Because when we connect with the soul, the human system can come back in the back, not control us. To meditate, to connect with the soul. I will make a meditation zone. I have one out for free, but on my website, but I will share with you just the meditation also zone to connect with the soul. I also had something to, because to allow ourselves to be unique, to come to that. That's why I talk about this still. I also would like to emphasize on that we all can support each other with our love and compassion, to praise others when they are expressing themselves or trying to find their uniqueness, because it's a travel to find that, so that we really have a big allowance for others' ways and ways of being, and that we support each other in finding ourselves. And I think that's what I would send with you from here. And it's a saying that when you welcome others, you also welcome yourself. Okay, thank you. Take care and see you soon.